How's it going, Franz? You've been really busy.
It's been going really well, as I was just saying on camera.
Yeah.
I've been away from New York since March, and I just today bought my plane ticket home, finally, for September 7th.
September 7th, so what are you doing between? I mean, you're
well, more shows, yeah.
So is it more, are you going into Europe? Or
no, this is just British shows at this point. There were some Irish dates at the beginning. The rest is all British and Spanish.
Yeah. Those Irish dates, did they all work out, or did they all not work out?
Yeah, only one of them didn't work out in the end. The Dundalk one was a bust for reasons which I still haven't figured out why. But yeah, the Cork was a good one, Dublin was a good one, and Belfast, which was a last minute addition, was actually the best. So I'm looking forward to going back there.
I mean, when it comes to shows, you know, falling through and stuff like that, you know, how does that sort of affect the tour?
Well, I mean, you never want a show to fall through, but mostly they don't.
Yeah.
It's a rare occasion.
But does it ever put you off coming back? Or
it puts me off working with that promoter again. The promoter from Belfast is like, I don't understand what there was a problem with the venue. Of course, that didn't turn out to be the case. And then he sent me a Facebook message like, hey man, sorry, blah, blah, blah. You still want to get together and get a drink? I was like, yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll see you at the show. He's like, yeah, I don't know if I'll make it to the show. You're off the list.
Yeah. No, that's right. You're actually on tour and you brought your dad with you.
Yeah, he came along for the first 10 days.
Okay. How was that?
It's great.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like a road trip with their dad. I mean, I guess a lot of people don't, but he's a sweet guy.
Was it just that? Was it just, you know, fun vacation? Or was it just, you know, you wanted to bring him on the road with you? Or?
He wanted to see what my life is like. And he'd never been to Ireland before, so that worked out.
And what did he think of your life?
I think he enjoyed it. I mean, I think basically both my parents are artists, and they've both always been really supportive of what we all do, and so I think he's just glad to see that I'm getting by and that people appreciate what we do.
I mean, it must make a proud parent when you get in shows and people sing along and people, you know.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he saw both sides of it. He saw it when you rolled up to the club and the show has been canceled, and he saw it when people were singing along. So he got the...
I mean, was this his first exposure, or has he seen it before, you know, it's, you know, against me?
Well, he's been going to my shows since I was, you know, a child, so...
Yeah, but yeah, you know, you've been busy, you got a new album out as well, the show was finally come out. You did that through Kickstarter, you found that through Kickstarter.
That's right.
I mean, how was that? How was the road to Kickstarter for you? Stressful?
Well, of course, very stressful. Stress is built into it, you know, that's why they have the deadlines. And it's just not just open-ended. I mean, I'm glad I did it. I'm really glad I did it, because otherwise the album never would have gotten new. I still don't have a clear idea of what I'm going to do for the next record, but I guess I'll think about that next year.
Was that really the case then? It was either Kickstarter funding or
no record gets exactly like that.
Was there ever a contingency plan that if it didn't get funded, maybe some things out?
Well, I mean, listen, I would have made it somehow, but it wouldn't sound like what it sounds like. It wouldn't, I mean, I don't know. It would have been a very different album. It's basically like my, you know, not to get too deep in the weeds of finances, like, I make enough on this stuff to live and pay my bills and stuff, but I don't have that extra nut for big recording projects. So, you know, the first one, I got a little bit of money from Morgan Steady and that paid for that, and then the second one was like, that's what my 4 months with Against Me paid for London Courage, but I didn't have anything like that to pay for this one.
I mean, is there a thought of ever doing anything like that for 4 months with Against Me again? Is there anything, Against Me, is there anything coming up that you could possibly do, or is there anything you'd really like to do that might...
I'm up for anything, you know, I really am. One of the nice things is that I'm my own boss, and so I can say yes to all kinds of things. There's nothing on offer at the moment. There was one thing that I was sort of excited about, which is there was a musical opening at Lincoln Center that they were looking this is when I was on the road with Against Me. I got the call because one of the parts was a singing accordion player, and I was like, hell yeah! If I don't, you know, and that's like that would be like a long-term union.
You just hand your CV and they're like, okay, yeah, see,
yeah,
so you can do this.
Right, but I mean, I think they called like literally every accordion player in New York. I know all of my friends that are accordion players went in and auditioned for this thing, and I don't know, I didn't get it. It's the point, so.
More for all that. Let's just talk about the album. Kickstart, I mean, you say it wouldn't sound as it would if it hadn't been done that way. Can you just talk a little about the process and the type of sounds you used and little things that were in there that people might not have expected?
Right. Well, what I didn't want to make was a straight ahead folk punk record because there's a lot of those. Reaching the tipping point of I don't know, and there are other people that do that better than me, and there are people who like that sort of thing. Like there's no point in my getting an upright bass player and a drummer and an acoustic guitar and making a Chuck Reagan sounding record, because you have Chuck Reagan for that and like a zillion other people. And I've also always felt like I do my best work when I'm sort of toe-to-toe in the studio with someone else who has a really strong opinion about stuff, the strong collaborator, whether it was all the members of World Inferno, basically, or, me and Tad from the whole study had some knockdown drag-outs, but it makes for, I don't think anyone's, I've said this before, that I don't think anyone's singular vision is really so strong that it doesn't benefit from someone to call bullshit on it, right? And I haven't really had the opportunity to do that on any of these solo records until now. I work with a producer who's an artist in his own right, and so I talked to a couple different people and ended up working with a lot from Dialect, which was great because he was exactly that. He's a guy who's the master of his own studio, and plenty of times we were sitting down and he would just put his head in his hands and be like, this song's not working, what are we gonna do? Let's start from scratch again, and that sort of thing. So that was really great, and we both agreed that we didn't want to just record the things because what's the fun in that? There's two. This is another riff that I've used before. Sorry to repeat myself for anyone who's seen this before, but there's two philosophies of making a record, right? There's the philosophy that says that it should be exactly what you sound like. For the people who come and see the show and want to take the show home, make that record, the stripped down version. And then there's the philosophy that says that the album should be the sort of the ultimate version of the song, or the version of the song, like the version you hear in your head with the strings and the choir and everything. And all things being equal, that's where I tend towards, because it's the only chance in my life that I'll get to create that version of the song. And I'm gonna play the song solo 1,000 times. So why not take the opportunity to make the version of it? It's not that version. And if people want that version, I mean, there's shows, there's YouTube, there's the demos that I put out and stuff like that.
So this is a thought. I know your friend with Dave Hawes, he did the 7-inch collection where he basically said that his idea for that was to be the stripped down versions that people hear at the shows.
Yeah.
So there's never an idea of
no, there was. I just that's just a whole other. That was actually my idea when I put this out, was if cost was not an issue, I would do one CD of that and then a CD of the stripped down versions, because I recognize that the versions on Do the Struggle are pretty out there in some of them, but cost is an option.
So is that not a possibility for you?
No, I could. I guess if people want it, I'll do it.
You said pretty out.
I mean, there are solo versions of them all over, videos of them all over. Anyway, it's not like you can't see what they sound like. But for I think you taped a couple.
I think I did. Yeah.
I don't know, for a tour you be at some point. I'll just, record a live set or something like that, or just get in the studio and bang them all out. Press up a few hundred.
Now you said that, fairly out there. I talked to you a little bit about the interludes between each track. What was the inspiration for those? Do they mean anything? Is they significant in any way, or?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I'd have to go through them one by one and sort. Some of them are bits from the preceding track that are sort of buried in there, and then I pull them out, and like in Live Free, it's just a one measure loop from the track that's there, and then sort of added. From the one that's after The Day All the Leaves Came Down, there's these 4 keyboard lines in the bridge that sort of weave together, and we pulled those out and then octave dropped them, and that became the interlude after that. I think we tried octave dropping in 1 octave, 2 octaves, and 3 octaves. 3 octaves was awesome. It sounded like Sun in the middle band, but it was a little too much. So I think that's the 2 octave dropped one, or octave plus 1 step that puts it in the same key as the last track. A bunch of them actually were recorded in Manchester. Here's the thing about that record: almost everything on it is acoustic instruments. There's not a lot that's electronic in there. They're just processed down. The first time I came through here solo, I was opening for Mark Eitzel at a church, and we were staying at this woman's house outside of Manchester named Bernie, who had this long-time, legendary band Crash Pad, tour posters all around the basement and stuff. She had a little upright piano, and we had a day off, and I just sat at the piano and recorded a bunch of stuff on the iPhone, most of which I never turned into a song, but a lot of those little chunks are, I would say, not a lot, 3 or 4 of those ended up as interludes on Do the Struggle. We just opened them up in Ableton and started tweaking.
So yeah.
I really sort of wanted to, I was home all summer and wrote all these songs. We tracked 16 songs in addition to all that extra audio material, so there's a whole another half hour of music that has got to come out at some time next year. But to the point where I literally had nothing left except for a couple of those things on the phone. It's like, all right, let's scrape the bottom of the barrel and just clear the drawer out.
So you said about that extra half hour. I think you to my final question. I was like to ask, what is next for Franz Nicolay?
Well, the next creative project I think is when I get home. I have really thousands of words of tour diary particularly from the Croatia through China leg of this last tour that I would.
How was China for you? That's something that really interesting.
All of that stuff was really cool and really interesting, and basically that's the next thing, is to turn that into like a small book or a large zine or whatever. That's what I'll do when I get home. China was cool. I think it's going to be better when I go back, because I was just sort of cast a wide net and only ended up. I played 3 shows. They were all in Beijing. I just sort of figured, set the groundwork. I got one contact from the Bouncing Souls who got over, and one from this guy Nati Vogel, who I'm friends with in New York, who goes over there. I figured once I'm there, I'll meet the people who can get me to the other cities, and that is the case. I think if I go back, then I met people who were like, okay, well, I could get from Shanghai and Wuhan, Hong Kong, etc. Yeah.
It's not exactly common to go to China.
It's not uncommon. I mean, it's not like right on the tour route, but like Mark Kozlek was there when I was there. There were people. They have indie rockers.
Yeah. So is that what's next? More chapbooks, more tour diaries?
The book is next, and I'm doing a U.S. tour in October and November. And then I don't know exactly what the touring plan is going to be for next year yet. But at some point next year, I'll probably do an EP with the rest of the Do the Struggle sessions.
Any more collaborations? You want to jump in with Frank and do some more stuff?
Oh, Frank and I have a split 7/8 that's going to come out.
Oh, does anyone know about it? Is this announced thing yet? Is
tweeted about it, but nobody really took up on it.
Yeah. So when's that one?
I think it's supposed to be in the fall. I guess I'll let the label announce it when they want to announce it.
Awesome.
But that was really fun. I recorded my track for that in St. Petersburg, actually, at an old Soviet. It was literally the old Soviet state recording studio in it, playing piano in a giant church. It was fun.